Hey guys, this is Alex from Games and Me. I just got home from work, just finished Fable 2 last night. I'm kind of a slow player, like I've been saying, and when we really appreciate all the effort and work and comments you guys are actually posting on our community questions of the week here at Games and Me. It's something that we really wanted to do like from the very beginning of our podcasts and stuff, and now that we're actually on YouTube, it's something that we can finally do. And again, we appreciate all the support and of course all the answers. So this week, and of course I think next week, because next week actually is Thanksgiving. So we want to thank everybody, including our fans and stuff and our subscribers for actually subscribing to us. And that's one of the best things about, like actually doing these kinds of things. Anyone, me, you, or, the person next to you or the other person watching can do all the stuff that we're doing here. But it's basically like building the community that's something that gets us going here. Because I know there's a whole bunch of gamers there. And what we really want to do is we want to take all those guys playing the Wii, all those guys playing the 360, and all those guys playing the PS3, bunch them all together, make them all like one big happy family. And that's what Games and Me really is all about. So, let's get to the question, okay? This is going to take a little bit more time to explain because I need to explain what each of these are. My question is, what aspects of games matter to you the most? Now, I've listed 10 different types of things that comprise a game. Now, not all games will have these types of qualities, but I wanted to kind of run them by you guys first. And then kind of try to, we'll let you guys think for like 2 weeks and try to figure out, okay, how would you guys rank this, based on what matters to you the most. So let's get started. Multiplayer, enough said. This includes co-op modes or playing with other players in deathmatch or deathmatch modes or whatever. What do you think of the multiplayer experience? Is it very important to you or not important? Rank it from most important to least important. Story, self-explanatory. Story that is being told to you. This could also be stories that you tell to other people. Like, let's say you're playing Counter-Strike or Halo and you're saying like, oh man, there's this one part of the game where I was like driving this Warthog and stuff and somebody sniped me while I was like, pulling around the corner and stuff like that, and that was the most awesome thing. That is called a player story, and it technically kind of counts. But really what we're trying to say here is the game, what the story is trying to tell you. Like, what the game's story is trying to tell you. Kind of like Halo storyline with Cortana and Master Chief and all that stuff, as an example. And the next one is atmosphere and level design. Level design means, do you think the levels help you get into the game? Also the atmosphere. One thing that's a good example of this is the fog in Silent Hill. The fog used to be used to not display polygons too far from the screen. That's the excuse why they used it in PlayStation 1 and Silent Hill. But now it's used to kind of accentuate the mood. In terms of level design, games that have great level design, Gears of War 2 and 1 have great level design. Halo 1 and 2 had great level design. But a cool example of it would be like in Gears of War 2, there's this section where it's just this huge expanse, this huge area. You see like buildings falling like into this hole and stuff like that. That's not much of a spoiler, but trust me, people complain about that. Music. Is the music interactive? Do you guys like the music? What if you're playing an action game and you heard like a circus fanfare? That's how much music is important to a game. Sound effects. Do the guns sound like guns or do they sound like toys? Are there proper audio cues? How important is that to you? Fun. Is the game fun or doesn't it not have to be fun? Good examples of games that don't have to be fun. Fun is relative. Fun is basically like, if you enjoy it and stuff like that. And different things make people enjoy different things. So I'm not even going to give an example because I don't want to offend some of you guys. Because I do have my own feelings about this specific category. Gameplay. Does a game feel right? Or is it just like Dragon's Lair, where it's just quick time events, after one after the other after the other after the other? Is it interesting? Um, Gameplay also encompasses how well, things kind of merge together in terms of gameplay. Like, what was it? Like, I'm trying to give examples for more recent games. Dead Space, as an example. Do you like the mechanic of shooting and like monsters, limbs and stuff like that? And how well do you think that kind of mechanic, like translated into the actual controls of the game? Um, Replay value. How often, this is kind of like a weird category because it basically gauges how often you'll come back to a game. And it's almost tied in with multiplayer. But some people actually replay certain games because they want to get different endings in games. Fable 2 is a good example. Fallout 3 is a great example. Silent Hill is a great example. Second to the last is user interface presentation and narrative presentation. What is this? It's the way the game shows you all the elements that you need to know in order to survive or beat the game. Life bars, beacons, the title screen, the notes and Guitar Hero, how that's presented to you. Not necessarily the levels themselves. So if we're talking strictly about Guitar Hero or Rock Band as an example, which is kind of a weird example, it's the way that you navigate the menus. How well organized is it? How fast can you get in and out using the interface? In terms of storyline, how is the storyline presented to you? Is it presented well or in cutscenes? Is there a disjoint between the two? Did the interface match? Did the front end, what they call it, match with the actual the rest of the game? Like, as an example, we talked about it in the review club this week, where Mirror's Edge cinematics did not match sometimes did not match the feel of the game itself. Just an example. And then lastly, the characters, because without the characters and stuff, you probably wouldn't want to play the games and stuff. A great example is Cole from Gears of War 2, where he spouts out these really funny one-liners and stuff. And I have a couple of friends who swears by Cole's almost cheesy factor, but it's kind of cool because he's there to kind of inject some comedy into this whole mess. So let me recap that. What aspects of games matters to you guys the most? Rank it from most important to least important. Multiplayer, story, atmosphere, level design, music, sound effects, gameplay, fun, replay value, user interface / presentation / narrative presentation, and characters. So post your comments and we will read them throughout the week, because we can't get away from our YouTube channel. You guys post some really incredible stuff. In any case, we'll see you later.